Your ass better call somebody!
You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host. Kyle Gagliardi.
The face that runs the place.
Jim Tucker.
It's a game!
And Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi, and my co-host is my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to all of our listeners out there. 2023, a brand new year, and Tuck, the wrestling news is already running rampant throughout the wrestling world.
Yeah, it don't stop. You know, we had a little brief lull there right before the new year, and we are off to the races.
That's right. We definitely are. How was your New Year's Eve? You do anything fun?
Had a plan to go to a black tie, wine, and charcuterie New Year's Eve party. And we got snowed in with like 1.5 feet of snow, and living here makes me appreciate how well Indiana took care of the snow. We had 2 days canceled off of school because our town has 2 plows, and it's
only
like two town owned plows, and we're about the size of Crown Point. Our high school
in Northwest Indiana too. There's probably 2 plows per every block, it seems like, because they take this stuff seriously.
And the citizen plows too. Like, how many people just have plows on their trucks and just kind of get stuff done on the side streets too? None of that is happening here. So hilarious. But
so you had a few snow days.
Laid low, chilled out. Yeah, I can't believe that like the cul-de-sac I live in wasn't touched for like 4 days.
Oh, geez.
You just humped your way out of it. Don't. Yeah, it was madness. So, but life is good. We're back in school, and tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, look at that. Good vibes all around. I'm pretty excited to get into a few things before we give our 2023 wrestling predictions. We got Robbie Collins in the chat early with a big woo! Charlotte Flair is back. I'm sure that's why he's willing.
Presenter, Robbie Collins.
Yes, OTM presenter. Robbie Collins, indeed. Happy New Year's, he says. And look at that. Our co-host, she is waving in the comments section. Tuck, you want to tell the people why Erica is not with us this evening?
Yeah, Erica's under the weather. You know what I mean? And let's talk about Erica Marini at Erica_0328 for a second. The most apologetic person I know. If I had to power rank apologetic people, Erica number 1, and then maybe the next one would start at like 17, 18. That apologetic, but she's feeling under the weather and doesn't feel like being in front of a camera. I think we all have those days. You know what I mean? But her contributions in the chat, can Erica win MVM? She's not hosting. She's not hosting right now.
She's not on duty. She is not working.
She's off the clock. And again, let's not act like this is, uncommon with your stars, right? When with WWE stars, we're not getting them every week. You know what I mean? It makes it special. So for Erica, hopefully she'll feel better, and under a contractual obligation, she's doing great.
She said someone has to teach me how to do this on Twitter. Erica, I've told you this before. Twitter comments do not show up on this feed. I think I put it on the ticker for every episode.
It's on most tickers. And here it is. If you're on Twitter, we won't be able to see your comments If you want to interact with us, then head to YouTube or Facebook.
And that's what it seems Erica did. She did get to YouTube, so she does know how to comment on YouTube. But if you were wondering, that is why Erica Marini is not with us. But she is in the chat if you would like to interact with her, because she is coming for Ryan Vogus's MVM that he won at the end of 2022 during the week before our OTMs. I was going to say during the OTMs, but it was not, because we do not give out the MVM. But before we get into all the crazy stuff that's already happening in 2023, we got to remind the listeners that we have some awesome merch at the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. The Stop the What chants, banger after banger after banger. And we saw Bryan Danielson in his hometown on Dynamite. Get yourself a Bryan Danielson appreciation shirt at the On the Mark Wrestling.
Bro, that shirt is funny.
I got to compliment it all out. I think I've said that before, right?
It's a shirt. That's the first time I've heard that. I'm funny. Acknowledge me in the chats. That was my idea, and it's a good shirt. And if you go to onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com right now, you can pay full price for it.
And that will help us out tremendously. But if you want to wait, Royal Rumble weekend is coming up. Believe it or not, we are only just a few weeks away from the Rumble. We will have a promo code going that weekend as well. But Tuck, we're about 6.5 minutes in. We got a hard hour cutoff because, as you can see, I'm wearing my IU quarter zip. My Hoosiers play in a little bit. So I'm trying to get this thing done before that game starts. So let's get to the most recent headline that has gotten Twitter talking over the past few hours. And unfortunately, Tuck, it involves the name Vince McMahon. And here's the reports that we are seeing currently. And Vince McMahon is reportedly plotting to return to WWE as the executive chairman so that he can pursue a sale of the company. He's reportedly said that he will block any media rights deal or sale unless he has direct involvement as executive chairman. And Tuck, this is something that we feared could be coming. And granted, that specific headline doesn't say that Vince McMahon is coming back to work creative or do anything that involves Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. But you get one foot in the door, it's going to be hard for Vince to stay away from creative control.
A lot of it is pointed toward media rights for some reason, but a lot of things have to happen. He did nudge at it already, and the board of directors said no. And he also says he wants to bring along three new members of the board, former employees of WWE. He wants to bring them on the board. In order for that to happen, 3 people have to give up their spots, right? So they can't just join. He doesn't have the power to add people. I could see how he felt like maybe it would blow over, because it has. I think him quitting is a big reason why it blew over so quickly, honestly. So our good friend Ryan Vogus mentioned that he was nervous or a little clammy about Mania, right? Like I think our excitement was at a 10, and maybe it's tempered to like a 8 right now, 7.5. Right now, I think they're going to try to hold him out and through Mania season. Let us do the WrestleMania we want in Hollywood, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, and first off, I don't think it's a dumb decision for him to be involved in like the media conversations, because I believe their contracts with Fox and USA, if I'm not mistaken, are up at the end of this calendar year. So Vince, created this monster that is the WWE. So I'm not surprised that he wants to get his hands involved to make sure it is ready to take that next step into the future. But you push all that nonsense to the side, and then you talk about, with WrestleMania coming up, the Royal Rumble. This is a pivotal part of the year. Triple H is now just really getting into things, creating his own storylines. And you would have to assume, if Vince is allowed to come back as executive chairman, that it's not going to be what it was these past few months to 6 months or however long it's been that he's been gone. That Vince probably is going to want to be involved in some way creatively. And I think I speak for probably 85% of wrestling fans. Vince, stay the fuck home. Just don't come back.
Yeah, we're good. I'm good with it too. I'm not quite panicked based on what I've read. this, as the news dropped, it was Fightful followed up and reported that this was news to many of the talent as well, that they were unaware of this. Some people, it made some people nervous. Some
like talent. Are you talking about talent?
Yeah. So some of them commented even like Vince, like, I'm fine with it. Vince liked me, but these were people that were released, so he didn't like you enough, So some were very turned off by it, and some seemed okay, but like ironically okay with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a mixed reaction in the locker room for sure. But I think the majority of the fans do not want him back. But we will see. Nothing is really set in stone quite yet. But obviously there is interest there for him to get involved and be the executive chairman for potential selling of the company, which is something that they've also talked about for the past couple of years. It seemed like something WWE was potentially interested in, which I get selling. Maybe you sell to like an NBC or a Disney, or you get involved with Netflix as a streaming service, because there is a lot other ways to get more eyeballs on the product. So I get that, but Tuck, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little scared.
Yeah. Again, anytime you hear Vince come up now, it's like, come on, dude. We can let it breathe for him. Life's good. Don't stir the pot. I'm happy with the WWE product. Many people are. Stop.
And I don't want to speak for, most wrestling fans, but I think we've all kind of brushed that, all these allegations and stuff to the side with Vince. I mean, I still respect him, because we wouldn't be sitting here talking about, wrestling if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. He started everything here. So, I mean, but still, it's just, I'm scared, and I don't want to see any involvement with him whatsoever. But let's get to the comment section here. Robbie Collins says, number 30 at the Rumble, no chance in hell. Tuck, no chance in hell to that. No thank you.
No, please.
Our co-host Erica Marini says Steph needs to put him in a home. That she does. Robbie is asking, can we get Stone Cold to visit Vince in his home? Reckon he'd get him to stay away. Tuck, you're basically neighbors with Stone Cold. Can you make that happen?
I'll see what I can do. I've ran into him a few times locally. Zero career words spoken to the man. Many large amount of glances towards him. So
one of these days you're gonna have a conversation with him.
He knows people in the town. Like I know people that are friends with him.
Yeah, so just say you're a local. I just know
a couple layers away. Yeah, a couple layers away. I'm not driving around with the Stone Cold Steve Austin elite figure in my car with a paint pen.
Smart.
I'm not. But I think it'll work out.
I don't want to say there's a 0% chance, but I mean, if you have that conversation with Stone Cold, there might be a 0.1% chance he hops on this podcast. You live close, so the chance is there. But as Vince McMahon's theme song says, it's probably no chance in hell.
Well, and I can drive to him. Like he and we can do the Broken Skull session set. Like he and I can just set up there, and then stream with you. That'd be great.
Drink an IPA, have some Jack Daniels, like he always has.
I have his lager, dude. The lager's much better. I'm not really a big IPA guy.
I think they're both solid. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy them, but I'd drink them if you had them. That's my review on those. Robbie asked, was there not supposed to be a Netflix documentary on Vince McMahon? There was, and I think it was canceled because of those allegations, correct?
It was delayed. I'm looking up news right now.
Maybe that would be something they considered to, re-release, I should say, now that Vince is kind of away from all that stuff that happened these past couple months. Time will tell. But Ryan Vogus, the current MVM, says he's about to hop on the plane. Have a good show, boys. Thank you, Vogus. Do you know where Vogus is headed?
Not a clue.
Oh, look at this guy.
Probably somewhere fucking sweet.
Yeah, he's always going on cold trips.
Mr. Moments.
Works hard, plays harder. That's our MVM right there. Tuck, while you're looking at go ahead.
There is the Netflix documentary not out yet. Vice did release a 2-hour documentary called The 9 Lives of Vince McMahon. That was in 2022. I was not aware of that. I will be tuning into that. 2 hours. The Netflix special was supposed to be a 4-part, 1 hour series, 4 hours total.
Gotcha.
Hasn't been pushed yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got re-pushed out there, especially if he becomes the executive chairman once again. Speaking of documentaries, I watched the Ric Flair one on Peacock. You get a chance to watch that one?
I've got about a half hour left. That's actually what I ran to today. So I've got about a half hour left. Wild. I didn't know that about the childhood, especially.
There was a lot of things in that documentary that I didn't know about.
Yeah, I knew a lot. I feel like I've watched a bio or something on him before. I knew a lot, but the people that talked and added to it and the childhood stuff. God, how is he still alive, dude?
Dude, he's somebody with 9 lives right there. That's the real man with 9 lives. He surviving a plane crash, the heart issues that he had. What's the other thing I'm missing that almost killed him? I mean, there's like multiple things that almost took out Ric Flair, but the man kicks out at 2. That's what he does, and that's why people consider him to be the GOAT. He is the man. So I wouldn't say she is the GOAT, but she's one of the most talented female wrestlers right now in the business, and her name is now Mercedes Mone, and she made her presence known after Sasha Banks' contract officially expired with the WWE at the start of the new year. Now Mone is a part of New Japan as she appeared at Wrestle Kingdom 17. And obviously most of our listeners have probably already seen it or have heard the news. We weren't watching live. I don't think you were, correct? You weren't watching live?
I watched up to Sasha and then went to sleep.
So you were watching live. I'd like to, just get your overall thoughts on the presentation, the reaction, and the presence of Mercedes Mone.
Okay, first off, wild hair. I think that's got to be mentioned right off the top. Let's just address it.
Bam Bigelow-esque.
Yeah, wild headdress with I don't know. Interesting how she bounced it. She sometimes gets a little clunky on the mic, a little bit, right? Like there, stutter. This. I think they rolled it out really well. There were enough signals that it was her in the video package before she displayed. Like, I think it was a decent reaction from the Japanese crowd. Like the next show where she will be at, Battle in the Valley in San Jose, that's where she's debuting. I've got tickets.
Which you will be at. Yep, there it is.
And there's not a bad seat in that place, dude. It only seats 2,000. So
I'm excited for you.
Super excited for that. But when they list Battle in the Valley, they specifically say it's a cheering event.
Okay, so they want the noise.
They in America, it's okay to be loud and boisterous. In Japan, it's a little you show by clapping. Really, that's basically it.
Yeah.
So clapping compared to what? Oh my God, shouting, yelling, not the same atmosphere, but it was a strong reaction. And I was kind of disappointed she didn't fight anybody. You know what I mean? Like
she did hit her new finisher on Kyrie.
I thought that looked like a little clunky with the DDT part.
I actually saw some videos of her training, and that was the intention of the finisher. You drop to your knee, and then she DDTs you after that. So that actually wasn't a botched finisher. A lot of people are saying that Mercedes botched it. That was executed to her liking.
Yeah,
it is still.
How I feel about it. Yeah, well, it's new, right? If that's her intent and that's how she throws it, okay.
It's not the bank statement by any means, and the presentation was solid. I mean, I like her look. It screams Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks. Like she's out. She has this outgoing personality,
and she's about that Japanese culture. Like she's into it. So, as a wrestling purist, this is part of the dream. And she had kind of a convenient way to go experience. Her brand's not going to go down. If anything, it's going to be built Cody Rhodes-esque, right? When he went back to the Indies and built the brand, and here he is. So,
I mean, look at Jericho too. He went over to Japan for a little bit, did a couple matches, and now he's in AEW doing some of the best stuff of his career, like this stuff. And it doesn't mean she can't come back to WWE. There's a lot other opportunities in line for Mercedes. Maybe she shows up next week on AEW Dynamite. I know they named Toni Storm as Saraya's partner, but you saw Shida look over at Toni Storm like, what the fuck? Why were you chosen over me? Don't be surprised if Shida attacks Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné shows up, because there are rumblings that Mercedes could be signing with AEW. And this is something that we have discussed in the past. We really haven't gotten into specifics, but if she were to sign also with AEW and work New Japan and All Elite Wrestling, does she fit in with the AEW roster right now, in your opinion? Or would that kind of be a weird vibe to see Mercedes in AEW?
I would like to see, she's the star. She's the unprecedented, like, what kind of run they give her, what kind of build they give her. It is, I feel like the AEW women's division is like grittier, if that makes sense. Like the WWE product is smoother, I think, like smoother matches, and the timing's a little bit better maybe. But I'm interested. I need to go back and watch the Saraya promo, because Fightful mentioned in their pre-show that there would be kind of a significant pointer. So I was not expecting her to name Toni Storm as her partner. And once she mentioned it, I just kind of like mentally shut off. So I've got to go back and watch it for more clues, if there are any. A lot of the comments and reaction were about like, I can't wait for Sasha to show up, you know?
Well, I think one of the clues too was in Britt's promo, her backstage segment with Jamie Hayter. She said, "I'm the boss," and gave Jamie Hayter a wink right after saying it. I was like, you don't just say that unless you're intentionally trolling your audience, which I don't think AEW is in a position right now to, you know, tease a Mercedes debut and not deliver one. Because if Mercedes doesn't show up in AEW next week or in the near future, a lot of people are going to be disappointed, because I think a lot of AEW marks especially have zeroed in on Mercedes being a part of their roster.
Yeah, and that does kind of put Tony Khan in a tough position if it wasn't ever a true intent. Like,
right.
Sometimes those narratives build up. Like Becky Lynch's push kind of out of nowhere a few years ago, I don't think was the work of creative, right? Like the people made that happen.
That was organic.
Yeah, so we'll see. This is an interesting one to keep an eye on.
As Erica says, they are going to be insufferable, and she is alluding to the AEW marks, and she is 100% right. Going back, though, to her appearance at Wrestle Kingdom, I think she is getting a lot of unwarranted hate, and I never really realized how much, you know, the IWC hates on Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné now. Because to me personally, there's Charlotte Flair, and then right below her is Sasha. I think she is that next.
Dude, it's the salty ex-boyfriend type, like all
Good
about
point.
it when you're with her, and then like you guys break up, and she probably broke up with you realistically, and you just point out every little flaw that you never even thought of, but you wanted to use it as ammunition. Bye. I ain't got time for that.
When were people critiquing Sasha Banks's promos? When were they critiquing her finisher? I mean, come on. You're just mad that she's over there living her best life. And like Robbie said, why was Mercedes getting so much hate? I'm sure you said it as well, Kyle. Yeah, I tweeted it out. Just let her enjoy her life and go on with her career. It is not the end of her in WWE. I guarantee you Sasha Banks will make her way back to the WWE eventually, but for now, it looks like she's going to be a part of New Japan. She has that title match, correct, with Kairi at the show you'll be at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ooh,
and I think Jay White is going to be there as well, and Okada, not necessarily to fight each other, but last year's card was pretty good. Some American names that I'm familiar with, some New Japan names I'm becoming familiar with. So it's a 4-hour drive. So that's kind of like
not terrible. It's like me to Detroit this weekend.
That's like, yeah, like now I've got to go San Jose, San Francisco, Vegas. Like those are the big markets. We had a WWE live show in Reno, but yeah, should be a fun weekend. Small place, dude. And WrestleTix sent out an their first post of ticket sales of the building. And since they and that was about 8 hours after the show. And since in 24 hours, they sold another 550 tickets. So a quarter of the building in one day in response to Mercedes' debut. So.
Yeah, that's what happens when Mercedes shows up, I guess. People want to see her. And it was kind of cool to see Bailey, FTR, and all of them, and Naomi get a picture together, throwing back to their friendship with the WWE. Obviously, they're still friends. I shouldn't say when they were in WWE, but just them supporting Sasha, Mercedes, whatever you want to call her. That was cool to see as well. But there's one more thing I want to get to before we get to our 2023 wrestling predictions. And it happened last Friday. And Friday Night Smackdown, I thought, was one of the best Smackdowns of 2022. And that obviously was headlined by John Cena. They hyped that up. But we also got the surprise return of Charlotte Flair after Ronda Rousey successfully retained her title against Raquel Rodriguez. You get a new theme from Charlotte. She comes out there, and Ronda says she'll defend the title tonight, loses in what seemed like a minute, if not seconds. And Charlotte Flair not only is back in the WWE, but she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Quite the moment we had there to close out the year, wouldn't you say?
Well, and I think the reaction to that was far different than when Becky showed up at SummerSlam and beat Bianca in like 25 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, that was something that the crowd welcomed because it was Charlotte Flair beating Ronda Rousey. Like, okay, get Ronda Rousey out of here for a minute. The Becky one was a little different because I think people liked Bianca as champ and thought it was cheap. But that made sense, especially because Ronda had already had a match too when Bianca was fresh.
Well, and a lot of people really didn't want to see Ronda Rousey as champion anymore, which I understand because the reign's been lackluster. Hand up, I would be one of those people as well. I'm not one of the people that were saying fire Ronda Rousey or get out of here. I still enjoy her from time to time, but I did think it was time for a new champion, and we get one in Charlotte Flair, now a 14-time world champion. A lot of people complain that every time she comes back, she just wins titles, but when you're the GOAT, Tuck, you can do GOAT shit. That's what she does.
It do be like that sometimes.
I'm not mad about it. I'm sure you're not mad either.
Nah, cool. New gear, like new edge to the gear too. Like, all right, let's roll. Let's see what it's like.
Yeah, it's just a different Charlotte Flair. A lot of people seem to not like Flair returning as well. I was so happy that Ronda doesn't have the belt. Get her punted down to NXT level up. Wow, that was harsh, Robbie.
Bro, have you seen Sol Ruka's finisher?
Holy shit, that one is good.
Raw. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That like
the only thing I've ever seen from that show.
I'm a Sol Ruka guy, yeah.
Fair enough. I don't know what he's talking about, though. Maybe it's his timeline was different. He's saying not a lot of people liked Flair's return. From what I saw, I think a lot of people enjoyed Charlotte Flair showing up there on SmackDown.
Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, different country, right? I don't know.
And now
I was pumped.
Me too. I mean, everybody knows I love Charlotte Flair. She's my number one. But now you have Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair as your champions. You can't go wrong with those two at the top of the women's division.
You do a Survivor Series with AEW. You got Bianca, Charlotte, and Jamie Hayter. Like
one stands out.
Not the same. Mm-hmm.
One of those names is not quite like the others.
And Jade Cargill. Like if you wanted to do a 4-way, no.
Don't get me going on the Jade Cargill stuff. I had a big conversation with Ian last night while he was watching AEW. I'm personally starting to turn on Jade Cargill. I get she's a star, but we need to switch things up a little bit. Dirk Vogus in the house. He got wrapped up watching the Boilermakers. That is fair. I'm going to be watching the Hoosiers right after this, so I get it. What's going on, Dirk? And Robbie said, I seen a lot of people saying they didn't like the way she returned, but he absolutely loved it. And Robbie, that's all that matters. Right, Tuck? That's all that matters. Did you enjoy it? That's all that I care about.
That's it.
So we're mainly here to talk about our predictions for 2023. We asked social media to give us some feedback, and we did get some feedback. So we're definitely going to get into that. But before we do, we have to hear what the listeners are saying about the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.
What's everybody saying about the On the Mark podcast?
It's just insane, and I love it.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
Unlike any other.
It's a great show.
We'll be right back after a brief intermission.
We're here. 2023, we're here. And we got some wrestling predictions. I see a lot of people doing this. I figured we would join in on the conversation. A lot of people like to get ahead and maybe predict some things that are going to happen. Some of these are going to be realistic. But like you talked to me beforehand, Tuck, some of them we might just want to happen in 2023.
Yeah, I agree with many of these, and some of my takes I will echo, like some of what I have. One unique take that's not on this list, and then
Let's
I will
hear
be
it.
chiming in response to a few. One, Steve, there's a Robbie one that I like. But my prediction: Montez Ford will be a mid-card champion by the end of the year.
Okay. Can I parlay off of that prediction?
Please.
My prediction, and this involves Montez Ford. Montez Ford turns heel in the next month.
Ooh, in a month?
In the next month, and ends up winning Money in the Bank. And at the end of 2023, Montez Ford is WWE champion. Book it.
Wow, you're going big champ. Okay.
We've talked about it from time to
Well,
time.
let's
Man's
talk about-
bulking up.
Let's mention the Robbie Collins comment here. Another show over the pond for us UK folk.
So yeah, breaking news if you haven't heard, Money in the Bank will be in the UK. Well deserved after a very successful Clash at the Castle. I mean, good for them, right? Getting another pay-per-view.
Freaking dope, dude. The O2 Arena. That's like big
time.
Robbie, how many fans can fit in the O2 Arena? Because they'll do it. Money in the Bank, dude. Like like IP, WWE, like one of the main show, like trademark shows.
Oh yeah, it's a top 5. That's what they're considering it. The next month is a wild prediction. I like it. Is Vince taking you and adding you to the WWE team? You know what, Robbie? It's a good question. I'm gonna say no, but it might be a good decision if he were to do so. I mean, I hope nobody from work's watching, but I'd much rather write for the WWE than sell alcohol. Let's be honest. That's just how it is.
I definitely would not want to do that job, just in case we've got some students in here really
smart.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love to hear your feedback too to some of the predictions. Robbie's saying 20,000 capacity can hold, should be a cracker.
Okay, that's a notch above the United Center. So yeah. So
it's
big
basically
field,
like a big stadium.
Bigger than an All-State show. That's about 8,000 more than the All-State that we know in Rosemont. So yeah, good environment. Not as big as Clash at the Castle. So they should, and they did well at Clash at the Castle Fanway. So might be a tough ticket.
It might be an expensive one too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to assume, but I would think so. So yeah, both of our predictions to start off this thing involving Montez Ford. That is very interesting.
He's real. He's freaking jacked. He's freaking added muscle. He freaking got the charisma. He's freaking the bomb. That's a figure. You can get a Angelo Dawkins figure for like $5. If you want a Montez Ford, you still got to pay like $30 for it.
Damn,
Stupid.
really?
Montez
and Angelo's been picking it up though lately.
Yeah, dude. Montez is a significantly harder figure to find, and he's he's on my list.
Maybe they know my prediction coming up is going to happen. I'm just speaking it into existence. Montez Ford, WWE champion.
Is it like get the side plates ready? They're going on A strap.
It's money to me. So let's get to, we have like 4 listeners give us some feedback. We're just going to hop from, prediction to prediction. I have some more. Tuck might have a few as well. But let's go to the mayor of Canton. His prediction is that.
Do we want to play Take It or Shake It?
Yeah, sure. Take it mean you like it. Shake it mean you don't like it.
Oh, shake it, I'm out. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. We can do that.
In or out, yeah. Take it or shake it. They do that on ESPN Radio in the morning. Take it or shake it. Okay, what's up?
I like that. Mayor of Canton says Roman Reigns will retire after he loses the belts to pursue a movie career, but come back at WrestleMania for the next couple of years for one match a year. And his second one is that Cody and Austin Theory will then be the two biggest stars in the company after Roman Reigns retires. Take it or shake it, Tuck.
I'm going to shake the Roman Reigns retirement.
Me too.
I think if he goes the Hollywood route, I think he's going to mix it in early, a la some of the others, maybe. I don't know. And that's a selfish shake it. Like, I don't want him to retire. I take it with the other part, Cody and Theory. Like, they're on their way. I like Theory, dude. Austin Theory. I can call him Austin. I forget.
Yeah, you can say Austin now. So that's
we're back. Yeah.
We are definitely back. Now, I'm going to shake it too, selfishly, because I don't want to see Roman Reigns retire or become a part-timer quite yet. And I think we would have got some sort of hint to that potentially coming, or rumors of him being interested, but we really haven't heard that he is, ready to take that step. So I'm going to shake it for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually it gets to that place because, it happened with The Rock and it happened with John Cena. So Erica Marini, our co-host, says when Roman ever is retired, I'd like it the way the mayor said. Fair enough. And Erica is also saying let him come back for one big match. Quinny Gerard in the chat, he's got a prediction. The Royal Rumble this year will bury AEW. How so?
Ooh, yeah. I'm interested in the angle of it. Like, in what manner? Yeah.
That it is a good prediction.
Strong take. Bury AEW. Wow.
I don't have this on my predictions, but don't be surprised if Jay White shows up at the Royal Rumble. There was rumors a couple years ago. He lost the title at Wrestle Kingdom. Jay White in the Rumble. Book it. Let's do it. Another prediction I have. Another prediction I have. This. What do you got?
I passed up a Jay White signed figure. $50. Would you take it? I think it's worth it. Worth it or not?
To me, it wouldn't.
I should go over what I paid for figures, and you could say if it's worth it or not.
So me, I'm going to probably say no to most. Then again, that one right there, MJF signed figure, I bought for $80. So I have no room to talk.
That's dope, dude. $80 for MJF. I missed that one. You got that.
Kevin Owens was free. Kevin Owens was free.
Yeah,
by
it
the
was.
way.
Yeah,
Walmart. Just code me Kevin Owens. That's how I roll. This one's going to be obvious, though. I had to make this prediction. John Cena breaks Ric Flair's title record in 2023.
Really?
Take it or shake it?
Shake it.
Like you don't want to see it, or you just don't think it's going to happen?
Do we need it? Like,
I need it.
I need it.
He's my goat. I need it.
I don't know. I just feel like he's too part-time. I don't know. I shake it. Chat, what do you think? John Cena.
Breaking
champion 2023. Take it, shake it. That's all you need to put.
You got any other predictions you'd like to add?
Nope.
Okay. Well, so let's go to the next one here from Steve Signor. He says Reigns will have 0 titles after WrestleMania. Take it or shake it.
I take it. And this was one of my predictions as well. I don't know if it's going to be a slow burn over both nights. If it's one match per title or both titles on the line, I think Roman Reigns loses at WrestleMania. And that was one of my predictions. So shout out to Steve.
So you and Steve are kind of on the same thinking there. I'm going to take it as well. I think after SummerSlam, Roman Reigns will be without both titles. I just don't think it needs to go past that point. I think that should be the end of the Roman Reigns title era for a little bit. Robbie Collins has a prediction. He predicts a hint at a Shield reunion or a Shield reunion at the end of the year at some point. Woo, that's a hot take.
I shake it just because of John Moxley's contract.
Me too. And Robbie Collins is going to take the John Cena thing.
Oh, all right. WWE and AEW, like, are they going to get there?
No. I don't think they do.
I don't think you can.
I think you can, but it's more, we've talked about this, it's more beneficial for AEW than it is for WWE to do that.
Well, right. That's, I don't know. I don't think there's like a clear winner in that, but both people will flex about it being better for their brand. I don't know. It's a weird, sticky situation, But
it would be unbearable for the very, brand specific marks like the AEW stands and the WWE stands. That would be unbearable. Why can't they just be like us? We're just teetering in the middle. We're enjoying both, let's just do that. Erica makes a good point with the Cena thing. It can't happen or else Flair will never stop wrestling. He'll come back for one last match.
No, confirmed. He definitely wrestled his last match ever. Definitely confirmed.
I hope so.
I have a shirt that says it. So unless he wants a fucking lawsuit, he better not.
T-Walk also had a shirt, but it was a 3X, and it was like a nightgown.
T-Walk bought a bed sheet on accident. Yeah,
that'll happen. One in Nashville.
That was so funny, dude. When you put that
when
on,
I tried it on,
I was dying.
It's like full length. Oh, it was a good time. I love Nashville. Hopefully, them or Detroit get to host SummerSlam this year because I definitely think we will be partaking.
I think the vacation there might look a little different flying into Indiana before flying out of Detroit home, potentially, because of when cross country starts. But I still think I can make it happen.
Okay, good to know. I hope you can make it happen because it wouldn't be the same without you.
No, we are the SummerSlam people. That's
right. Another title prediction in the comment section right now. Ryan Vogus says Kevin Owens wins the WWE Championship this year. I'm taking it just because I love Kevin Owens. What about you?
He's getting strong, dude. They're heating him up. They're heating him up on the way to the Rumble. Does he win the Royal Rumble? He might.
He's a top 5 option, no doubt.
Or do you think he fights Roman?
He faces Roman. He faces Roman at the Rumble. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think he'll just face him one-on-one.
And
one more. No, he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win. One more prediction from me before we move on to the listeners. I'm going to predict that CM Punk returns to All Elite Wrestling in 2023.
I don't know. I shake it.
Ooh, you don't think we see any CM Punk in 2023?
I hope not. I don't like the guy. I'm out.
Wow, Tuck's just out now. Fair.
No, dude, that was weird. That's weird. He's weird.
It was a weird ending to everything and very immature.
Slimy. Yeah.
On, I didn't like it either. Trust me, I'm with you on that. Let's go to the listeners here. Steve Signor once again. He says Rhea Ripley stands on the top of the women's division for both shows by the end of the year. Take it or shake it.
Shake it. I don't think both.
Yeah, I don't even think she'll be the top, wrestler in the division. I think she's a good hand. I think she could definitely become a champion, but I don't think she's ready to be the top person in a women's division. So I also am going to shake that one as well. I'm going to go through mine really quick, and then we can just get to the listeners. Another one I have, Ronda Rousey retires from wrestling in 2023. I definitely could see that happening, especially how the end of last year ended. I don't know about you. Take it or shake it. Ronda Rousey retiring.
Well, she's got Browsy Acres charging $200 a box for chicken, so she's doing all right.
Jesus. Yeah, I think she would
be
expensive.
I checked into it. It's expensive. I'm out.
I am out as well. Another one I have, AJ Lee is All Elite by the end of 2023. I think if CM Punk comes back, AJ also will make a return in ring. So that's one of my other predictions I have for AEW. Robbie said I'd bite my hand off for Ronda to retire. Jeez.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. You don't have to do that for her to retire, big dog. You just don't have to.
Don't do that. Come on.
A few other ones I have. Cody Rhodes, main events 4 or more PLEs. Take it or shake it.
I take it.
Smart man. It's got to be the year of Cody Rhodes, right?
Yeah, if not now, when?
Also, condolences to the passing of his mother. I think Dustin Rhodes just tweeted about it yesterday, and I saw it. Very sad. Wow. So now he's without both of his parents, but hopefully he comes back healthy and in a good mind frame. So, because it is the year of Cody Rhodes in 2023.
Met her at StarCast, and they're healthy, great. Met Cody's sister and his mom at StarCast at the Dusty Rhodes Foundation booth while Ricky Starks was signing, and the proceeds for his signings went to the foundation. He didn't make a dime, so I was happy to do that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, sad to hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And my last prediction, Logan Paul wins a title in 2023. Take it or shake it.
Shake it.
2024. Fair. Yeah, we don't even know what like his injury status is still. He talked about that.
Like, how many people are we going to put the straps on as soon as Roman loses it?
Yeah,
there's a lot of people we want to see get some shine.
Well, I'm not saying the title. I'm saying a title. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul was a tag team champion with his brother or somebody else, or U.S. champion. That would.
His brother just signed on to fight UFC. MMA.
Oh, that's right. That? Yeah. Jake Paul doing everything nowadays. I mean, good for them getting the bag. I don't blame them.
Well, how strong you want your mid-card title to be? Like Logan Paul's your United States champion. Like,
I think that's strong.
He had a great match against Roman.
Yeah,
like he is real. I think people do like acknowledge that.
I'd be here for that. Chat, what do you have to say? Take it or shake it to Logan Paul winning gold in 2023. And which title would you like to see Logan Paul hold if he were to win a championship? Speaking of championships, this seems to be a very popular prediction, just winning titles. Robbie Collins is saying Pat McAfee will win a title in 2023. Take it or shake it, Tuck.
I shake it. I don't think he's got that schedule enough. I don't know. I do think he'll fight, but I don't think he's going to become kind of like that regular.
I don't think Pat will ever be a champion in WWE. I think he's an announcer first and a big show guy. You know, like he'll wrestle at WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam, and that's about it. But it would be cool. I mean, Pat winning a title, but like you said, I don't know if the schedule. I mean, he does a Pat McAfee show every day. Like being a champion too in WWE, it'd be a lot for sure. Robbie said he'd happily take Logan. Having the U.S. title has the ability to get it. So yeah, I think the U.S. title would definitely be the best for Logan Paul. Let's move on to another one from Steve Signor. He says, more stories come out about Vince trying to get back into the company. And it's funny, he said that yesterday because literally reported today he was right. So take it, right?
Yeah.
Good job, Steve. It's like Steve knew what was coming because
well done.
Here we are. He's trying to get back. Robbie Collins is saying Nikki Bella will return in 2023. Take it or shake it.
I shake it. I find return like other than the Rumble or just like a Rumble spot. Like I could see a Rumble spot, sure.
I think a Rumble spot's inevitable, but I think what Robbie's referring to is maybe like a run, maybe a program or two.
Mini run, get him, send her to London, something like that. No, I shake it.
I think with just all the talent that Triple H has been recently bringing back, especially in the women's division, it's too crowded right now for, a big name like Nikki Bella. Because, Nikki Bella's got to be towards the top of the card if she were to return. So I am going to shake it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think Nikki was always better than Brie. But yeah, I'm going to shake that one as well with you there, Tuck. So Steve Signor has once again another prediction. Shout out to Steve. He was the MVM of the predictions. He says the Mercedes hype dies down and she becomes another high-priced bust in AEW. Hot take from Steve Signor there, Tuck.
A very toasty take from Mr. Signor. I shake it because this is one of those ones I don't want to happen. That's kind of where I'm rooted.
You don't want her in AEW is what you're saying.
I don't want her. If she goes to AEW, I don't want her to be a bust. I am a little concerned on the fusion or the synthesis of that division with her in it. A
doesn't
clash
seem like
of
the right
brands.
fit.
Yeah. So
we do have a comment rolling in, but for some reason my thing is lagging here for a second. Let me pull it up here. We got one from Adam Brad. He says, "Sup guys, I'm new here. What if a crazy plot twist? Vince is a work with Tony Khan to sell WWE. Now that will be an okay time to end the show moment." That would be a plot twist, right, Tuck? But that feels like more of a conspiracy than an actual thing that could happen.
I hope it is. Let's keep them separate. You got to keep them separated.
You got to keep them separated. I know that.
That would be wild.
While just like Steve's bust, Mercedes taking AEW. And Adam, thank you for commenting and welcome. If you could subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it. We're coming to you with content every single Thursday live.
You the man, Adam. Hope you had a great day, Adam. Adam Brad, 2 first names. What a guy.
That's how he rolls, man.
Mr. Brad.
Let's move on from one Steve to another. SCW Steve, former MVM. He says MJF will be AEW champ for the entire year or until the last show of the year. He will then threaten to leave the company with the world title unless all of his demands are met. Take it or shake it.
That's money, dude, as Stale Cracker would say. I love that, dude. That and no, like, it can be a total work, right? And he could be. He could say unless my demands are met and never mention WWE once if he wanted to, and people would clearly know where he's heading. That's a very strong program for MJF. I'm excited for the match against Bryan Danielson. 1 hour Survivor.
Yeah, we don't know for sure that's going to happen. Bryan Danielson has to get through some stuff first.
Oh, he's good. Come on, dude.
Yeah, we know.
They already announced a 1 hour Iron Man match for Revolution. It feels like that's what that was. But if it's one of those cool, like, kind of guesty, remember he made the Jericho do the trials, and there were some kind of like out of nowhere pop-ups and stuff, kind of making it a little bit different, fun. I'd be into that.
I'm going to take that prediction though from SCW Steve. I'm assuming you are as well.
Oh yeah, same.
That's good stuff. And Robbie said that's a take if I've ever seen it. Just having MJF with the belt most of the year excites me. It would be fun. That's for damn sure. Because I don't think Bryan Danielson's going to take that title.
They call him Rob Triple B Collins.
I don't get it.
The Triple B belt, the Big Burberry belt. That's what.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which I do like that belt better than the original. Now it's grown on me. Just for the record. Just getting that out there.
Not better than
you. More comments? No, I disagree. We got 4 more here from all the Steve. No, you're wrong, bitch. Steve Signor.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Braun Strowman will be out of the company by the end of 2023. Take it or shake it.
Take it.
I don't want to say I want it. I could see it as well. So I'll take it. But I don't think it'll happen. But if it does, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm with Steve on this take. It was in my notes, but I'll give him the credit. Steve Signor says, Rusev and Andrade find their way back to WWE this year. Take it or shake it.
I feel like the Andrade one is more likely given that he's married to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I could.
But Lana, even in an interview, said that they would be open to returning.
And Lana said she would shut her site down to return.
Lana just wants to go wrestle somewhere. You know, AEW wasn't going to want Lana to wrestle. She's like, WWE will have me. I can do things in WWE.
I'm Lana. Let me come on. Yeah.
Everybody loves Lana, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm going to take it though. Rusev and Andrade coming back.
I take it.
Good stuff. 2 more here. SCW Steve with his final prediction. He says, at WrestleMania 39, Rey Mysterio will team with Bad Bunny to face off against Dom and Damian Priest. Take it or shake it.
It's hard. I like it, so I'm going to take it. Gives you that, like, keeps Bad Bunny a face. You know what I mean? Like, he stands up for what's right. It kind of makes him look like a strong character, and they win.
I'm going to shake it just because I think you have to do Dom versus Rey in a singles match, whether that's a retirement match for Rey.
I think you let Rey win the tag. You let Rey and Bad Bunny win the tag.
And then it leads to maybe at SummerSlam, Dom retiring his dad. Match. Yeah.
In Detroit.
That definitely could be the direction they go. But it's an interesting prediction. It's definitely something that could happen, one of the more realistic ones. And then the final one, I would have never thought of this prediction, but Steve Signor says Corey Graves becomes the mouthpiece for the Judgment Day, all before the clock strikes 2024. Take it or shake it. Corey Graves becoming a mouthpiece for Judgment Day.
That's kind of my favorite one. My favorite prediction from a guest or a commenter, community member of OTM, because like I could definitely, I didn't think of it, but you could see it. He's got the mystique, right? Heel announcer. He's got the tattoos. So he kind of fits. I'm going to take it. Not because I necessarily think it'll happen, but like it'd be cool.
I will say this. I co-hosted with Steve for a couple years on another podcast. One of the best creative minds that, watches wrestling. This guy thinks of some very good stuff. And he will have bad takes like Mojo Rawley being a big time player and other ones, but we all have our bad takes. But this one's an interesting one. I'm going to shake it just because I don't think we ever get to that point, but I wouldn't be against it if it were to happen because Corey Graves is, he's very good on the microphone since he does commentary and whatnot. And Robbie agrees. He goes, I never even thought of that. I take it. And I think that's a good way to end our 2023 predictions. So thank you to everybody that gave us some of your predictions. Some of them were fantastic, like that last one. I think my favorite one still, at least from my end of things, was Montez Ford turning heel and winning Money in the Bank and becoming champion. I think that would be just awesome.
I think it's Montez time. They might have that reality show at some point in 2023. I know they signed on for it. Like, it's business, right? At the end of the day, it's what is best for business. And I think Montez Ford is best for business. He's so athletic, great looking, good for him.
He has it all.
Good for Bianca Belair.
Yeah, good for Bianca, good for Montez. That's just the true power couple right now. And I shouldn't say that because Becky and Seth is quite the power couple as well. It's just
I'd like to see it. Let's go. Let them
go. Let them go. So we're at the point of the show where we award the most valuable mark of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. If it's your first time, like Adam, tuning in, the MVM goes out to the person that interacts the most, gives the best quality comments during our live shows. You see the sticker right there on your screen. Tuck will mail you that sticker if you do indeed win the MVM. Our current MVM, Tuck, was boarding a plane, so he is unfortunately not able to retain the title. So we will have a new MVM. I'm not even going to ask you in the private chat. I think you are going to agree with me on this one, but
I do.
The first MVM of 2023 goes to Robbie Collins. Starting off 2023 hot. Not only is he the MVM, he just got himself an MVM t-shirt on the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com.
Well, now if he got that and said, I'm only going to wear it when I am, you put it on. Put that shirt on. MVM. Robbie Collins starting off the new year hot. If his resolution was to win the MVM this year, you can check that off the list, sir. Well done. Great job. It is fun chatting with people. I look forward to it. I like seeing you. I have to see you. I get the privilege to hang out over here in the comment section, so wanted to give you some shit.
Yeah, that's fair. I do see you every week, but that won't be the case coming up with baseball season. So that's why we have 3 people here. I know we've said it before, but we're going to be rotating in and out. Erica will be here at times with just me, or maybe it's me and a special guest. Who knows? It's going to get to busy time here for Tucky coming up in the next couple of months. And hopefully we'll be able to do some more Sunday shoots now that NFL season is kind of winding down. That is something that we don't do often, but we will do them on occasion. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're following us at Pot on the Mark so you don't miss any updates. But we are just under 1 hour. My Hoosiers are about to tip off. So
good luck to the Hoosier.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We need the luck. We're on the road tonight. So why don't you send us home for episode 129?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Pot on the Mark. Make sure you visit onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com for all your merchandise needs. We will see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.